Afar, it is one of Ethiopia's federal democratic republic regional governments, covering an area of 72,053 kilometers square. The majority of the population living in the Afar region are the native Afar tribe, who are part of the kingdom called the Afar Sultanate, that played a significant role in the history of Ethiopia. The southern region is endowed with various natural, anthropological, historical, and cultural assets, which make it a region full of multi-choice for sightseers. Afar is also known for many things. It is one of the hottest areas on planet Earth, a home to a volcano with 2 active lava lakes, and several important archaeological discoveries. The path to Ertale would be one of the difficulties you would face due to its topography. As a result, travelers are advised to take a long-base vehicle that will make the journey possible. And we also managed to get to Ertale despite the rocky routes and harsh environments, thanks to our professional driver and assistance from the local guide. That made our tour adventure quite exciting. Ertale is one of the fewest tourist sites for its unique characteristics. It is a large ballistic shield volcano, which is located in the northern part of the Afar regional state, within the northeastern part of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia.
Oh my God, quite, tiresome but very interesting time we are having in the beautiful city of Afar. Afar is one of the best tourist destination in Ethiopia, and now this is the entry point to Ertale. We have crossed a very mountainous place, and then the bumpy road that we had over there with our driver, with an excellent driver, has given us a very immense experience as he safely drove. And now here, of course, we're heading to that peak of the mountain that actually takes you straight to the Ertale, the smoking mountain, or a gateway to the hell. I wonder how the hell looks like. Is that exactly what we see? Do follow us. This is Explore Ethiopia program that introduces about Ethiopian culture, history, and tradition. I got all the packs in here. Make sure you have a bottle of water, and then let's see what's going to happen. Follow us. So, as I said, we have traveled lots of distance. I'm not good at numbers. I can't tell you exactly how many kilometers we have traveled from the very beginning, Addis Ababa, exploring all the beautiful touristic sites in Afar regional estates. And exactly now we are in the smoking mountain, or that is to the way to Ertale. Of course, Ertale has been described with different scholars in different archaeological terms, but exactly people know it as a smoking mountain. And here, the mountainous area with a bumping road is really difficult because lots of the roads are very rocky, and you need to be very careful. In the meantime, when you come places like this, you need to take into consideration the kind of shoe you're going to wear. A little bit of this kind would be advisable. And over there you see the cars are parked, and that's exactly where tourists park their car, because it's very difficult to penetrate and get to Ertale. And in the meantime, you see the beautiful sunshine as it is setting, and that's actually the same experience we had near to Dalol, especially next to the Asale Lake. Now we are just getting close to Ertale, where we are going to have that adventurous experience and find out how this tectonic volcano has been created. And I'm sure that this is also the right place where tourists come and express their impression about this important place. And Afar has a lot to offer as far as tourism is concerned. I'm sure you are watching this video, and I'm sure that you're gonna come sometime whenever you have time. This is Explore Ethiopia on EBC World, the voice of Pan-Africanism, and I'm your host, Biniam Gatana. This is Explore Ethiopia. Please follow us.
Situated more precisely in the Afar Depression, which is considered to be a badland desert area, it's certainly one of the most active volcanoes that can be found in the African nation.
This is another phenomenal feature of Ertale's landscape. You see how beautiful it is? This is how the local people, actually not only in Afar but in some parts of Ethiopia, people use this phase for a number of reasons. But what happened here in Ertale is, as tourists don't have much accommodation to pass the night, this is exactly the right spot where they can, put here and chat with their friends, mentioning different historical significance about Ertale, the socio-cultural relationship, and how people really sustain their lives. And of course, after having passed the night here, you can actually get down to where you've come from. But now this is actually, we're going to the top of the mountain. We need to be very careful, and as you walk on the mountains, there are precautions that you need to take into consideration. Wearing the mask that I'm going to use, of course, there, because the tectonic nature of the volcano is very much acidic, so you need to do things very carefully. And I think that's what I'm gonna do along with my friends, and of course likely there are going to be tourists. And Ertale mountainous area of the volcano is also an ideal place for tourists in January. This is going to be the peakest season in Ethiopian tourism, so lots of tourists from different parts of the world come here and celebrate their Christmas. And the volcano, looking at the volcano with a glaring eye, will give you the most dazzling experience, and you feel like you are in a different world, and that's what we are having here. Don't miss it. This is Explore Ethiopia. Now, without any further ado, let's hit the road and see what's going to happen. The Afar region is rich with a variety of attractions to present as a tourism asset for anyone and international visitors who are very interested in tourism. And it is here in the Danakil Depression where we find Ertale. Ertale mountain is situated in Afar in the Danakil Depression. It is the active volcano site, and the place is a triple junction with its continuous tectonic activity. And the international visitors who are very interested in tourism described as it is here in the Danakil Depression where we find Ertale. Ertale mountain is situated in Afar in the Danakil Depression. It is the active volcano site, and the place is a triple junction with its continuous tectonic activity. And the international visitors who are very interested in tourism described as is another immense experience for any tourists who love to experience what is happening in Afar in the Danakil Depression. Of course, also as January comes, tourists from different parts of the world prefer this place, and they celebrate the Christmas that has been really giving them a very indelible memories. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Explore Ethiopia on EBC World, the voice of Pan-Africanism, that have been introducing Ethiopian culture, history, tourism, above all, everything about Ethiopia. And do stay tuned as we bring you lots of interesting facts about the Smoking Mountain, or gateway to the hell as it's been described. What's so facts and what's interesting? We shall bring you lots of brief explanations and historical significance. Do stay tuned. I'm your host, Biniam Gatana.
The most famous sport is the persistent lava lake, which has been active since its discovery in the 1960s. Being only 613 meters high above the sea level, it's one of the 8 other volcanoes in the world that have a lava lake.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Explore Ethiopia on EBC World, the voice of Pan-Africanism that has been bringing you and introducing Ethiopian tourism destination entirely. And we are now here, as I speak, we are in the northern eastern part of Ethiopian Afar region, where several tourist destinations have been explored by people of different kinds, particularly from tourism perspective. And as I speak here, I'm joined here, of course, in the very tectonic area of, Lake Ertali, one of the hottest and driest place in the northern eastern part of Afar region in Ethiopia. And several people from different parts of the world come for several reasons in order to carry out researches and also experience what the tourist experience like. So this place, of course, despite the fact that lots of researchers have explained it, they have been giving names exactly to describe what this place is all about. Some call it the Smoking Mountain. That's exactly what the local Afar people call it in their linguistics. Similarly, it's also referred as the gateway to hell. Is that really what it is about? So now I have tourists who have come from a certain European country who will tell us lots of his experience.
Ethiopia is a country with a very rich culture and heritage, and I had the opportunity to visit it before in 2015, but I only saw Addis Ababa, and Bishoftu, and if you see a city, you can see some parts of the country, but you see not the life that is outside the city. And every city in some sense is the same, and every city in the world is the same, because life in a city, everybody has to adjust. So you see not that much of the country. And this time I spend less time in the city, and I want to spend more time in the countryside.
What's the main reason that you are here right now?
It's basically this. I want to come and see this volcano. I want to see the Danakil. I want to see some nature, and I want to meet some of the local people.
Interesting. So what makes you interested to specifically know this area? Have you had any prior information or experience that draw you to come here?
So the Danakil Depression and Erta are quite famous if you like nature and natural monuments. Erta is a volcano with a permanent lava lake. It's the oldest permanent lava lake on Earth. I think over 100 years it's been like this. And there are only 8, and most of them are very hard to access. So I like to go to places which are spectacular and which are not so easy to see. So I could have gone to Hawaii to see a lava lake, but it's very far away from where I live. This is very close, and also I get to see some of the local people. And it's very close to Danakil, which comes after Erta. So I will visit both at the same trip.
Interesting. So taking into account your prior experience through reading and the example you come up with, what makes this place quite unique?
It's a bit different from what I expected. Not worse, not better, it's just different. So I was expecting to see maybe nothing, because sometimes you're not lucky and all you can see is a little bit of smoke. So we see a lot more today. We see some eruptions happening, small eruptions. We see a lot of fresh lava. I have seen some pictures where there is a lake, which is bubbling. We haven't seen this, it's beyond the ridge. I think there was a recent eruption, so we can't see it now.
What do really, tourists say about this place? Maybe if you have heard from your neighborhood, or how does such a tourism aspect would promote the country?
So I have not spoken to any tourists who have ever been here. I have seen pictures, and the pictures, when I show people pictures, but only or YouTube videos, everybody would like to come. And it's a little bit difficult because not everybody likes to come here. It's not so easy to reach. It's very bumpy. It's a long journey. It's not comfortable. There are no hotels. You have to meet local people. You have to live the lifestyle. So not everybody will make it here. I have only met some of my colleagues who have been here for research. So they have done research at Erta. It's a different experience when you go for research.
When the name is translated from the local Afar language, it means the smoking mountain, and with enormous pool of active magma which is located beneath the ground surrounding Efale, the volcano shall certainly continue to smoke for an even longer period.
Ethiopia is obviously known having lots of tourist destinations like this in other places. So if the country has to take this to higher steps, the fact due to COVID-19, the Russia-Ukraine war has been some of the problems that globally affected the tourism movement, not only here in Ethiopia, but also some other places. So countries are working, promoting their destination, and Ethiopia is one of the countries in this regard. If tourists have to come to a place like this, what strategies or things has to be considered, starting from the accommodations, roads, and others? What do you really like to recommend?
I think this could be a great tourist destination. A little bit of signposts would be nice so people can travel, but I think they have good tour guides, they have good tour organizations in Samara. I'm here with one guide, he's very nice. So I think once this improves, it will be much easier to come, because there are flights to Samara, there are flights to Danakil. You can go from any of these places and you can see this very easily. So I think this is the main thing holding.
How did you find the weather condition?
I live in Saudi Arabia. This is like home now. So I feel at home. If I was in Germany still, I think it would be very hot, but now it's very pleasant. During the day it's a little bit warm, but same as in Saudi Arabia. It's very nice. Actually, it reminds me of the Dead Sea in Jordan. It's today we passed the big lake, the salt lake, and people were salt mining. It reminded me of the Dead Sea. I've seen exactly the same kind of salt mining operations at the Dead Sea. The climate was the same. It was very hot. It's below the sea level. So I think here it's maybe 100 meters below. Dead Sea is maybe a little bit lower. But the climate is very similar to the Dead Sea. And in fact, at some point I think you can have a spa resort or some hotel for people at the big lake, and then have an excursion, come here for one day, go back, or do basically day trips. I would recommend it. So far, I mean, this is really something you will not get to see. Maybe you get to see it for a brief period of time if you're lucky in Iceland or so. I think they had just had a volcano erupt. But here, I think you have a permanent place where any time of the year you can get tourists to come, and they are almost guaranteed to see a volcano. I was in Iceland, I think last year. I did not see any volcano, I did not see any lava. You can see a few hot springs because they're everywhere. So you have to be very lucky. But here you don't have to be lucky, you just come. You go see the volcano. So I think this is something that is very unique. And you have places like Hawaii or so, and they have a huge tourist industry around their volcanoes. And they're exactly like this. I mean, they're like this. And you have one of only eight in the world. One is in Congo, and the rest is Indonesia and then Hawaii, in some small islands. So you have some place that you can really promote, and you can build a tourist industry around this.
What should be the role of media professionals in promoting what the country really has and what's expected in your opinion?
Hard for me to say, to be honest. So I watched most of my information about this area is either from reading or from, so I read Wiki Travel or Wikipedia, some websites I like to go to, or I watch YouTube videos, and I can watch YouTube videos. So if you have a YouTube video of this volcano erupting, I mean, that is something. I know that a month or so ago, so I saw some very recent footage of some people, they posted this, of some recent eruption, and I said like, okay, I want to see this, because this is spectacular, especially if it happened a month or two ago. And I'm sure you have this every year a couple of times. You just need to promote it at some channels, like, okay, another eruption of this El Ta'ala volcano, look how spectacular it is. And then some people can come and go, okay, like me, I said, I saw this in October. There was there was a little bit of science talk about it because I'm a scientist. So I heard about how it built up over the year, and then there was an eruption, I think maybe in November.
Oh yeah, it was. Sure.
Yes, and I saw the YouTube videos and I'm like, okay, I don't want to see this eruption, or I want to see something like that that comes close. I said, okay, definitely I'm going.
Final opinion you have about this group of crew, so that we can call it a day for tonight.
Okay, I'm really looking forward to having some chats tonight.
Good. Thank you so much for your time and a brief explanation as far as the tectonic volcano of Ertal is concerned. We really appreciate that you have come here in Ethiopia, especially in Afar region. Thank you once again.
And now let's see if we can get an eruption going, right?
Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for staying on EBC World, the voice of Pan-Africanism. This has been Explore Ethiopia, a show that has been introducing Ethiopian culture, history, tradition, and above all, tourism. And the entire experience that we are having here in Afar, in the Danakil Depression, is giving us more memorable and remarkable time as we have seen all the very important destinations. However, we still have lots of segments that ultimately introduces the potential of Afar tourists. But this one will conclude our experience in Ertale, the smoking mountain and the best touristy destination entirely in Ethiopia, particularly in the Afar regional states in the northern eastern part of Ethiopia. Thank you so much. Keep locked. I'll see you the other side.
كوكب آخر، هكذا يصف كثير من الزائرين والباحثين هذه المنطقة، منطقة دالول التي تقع في شمال شرق إثيوبيا في إقليم عفر ضمن منخفضات دناكل. وسط هذا الصحراء، صحراء الملح، نشعر كأننا في كوكب آخر، مشهد مثير للدهشة والإعجاب، حيث أن الأراضي مغطاة بالملح كاملا في مساحة واسعة تتجاوز كيلومترات وبعمق مئات الأمتار. وتشتهر هذه المنطقة المعروفة بدالول بتضاريسها الصحراوية القاحلة وجمالها المبهر. لنكتشف هذه المناطق وما تحويه من العجائب. ويسميها الآخرون بأرض الملح، حيث يغطي الملح هذه المنطقة مساحات واسعة على مد البصر وبكل الاتجاهات وبعمق مئات المترات. وحين يلتحم الأفق بأرض الملح يعطي لمن يشاهده انطباعا كأنه يعيش لحظة ممتعة في كوكب آخر. ووصولنا إلى أرض الملح كان في الصباح الباكر، أملا أن نحظى بمشاهدة لحظة طلوع الشمس وصعودها إلى السماء. وفعلا كان منظرا جماليا خلابا يأسر القلوب ويسحر العيون. من بين مشاهد الرائعة في منطقة دالول مشهد طلوع الشمس وغروبها. وفي الصباح الباكر تطلع الشمس في أفاق دالول وتمتزج بصحراء الملح وبحيرات عسالي لتظهر بجمالية خلابة، وتبدأ بالارتفاع إلى كبد السماء بالبطء. ومشهد طلوع الشمس وغروبها من بين المشاهد الجاذبة والمستقطبة للسياح. حبذا ألا تفوتنا هذه الفرصة ما دام نزور هذه تمتد المسطحات الملحية لأميال وفي كل الاتجاهات ولمسافات بعيدة، كما أنك سترى العديد من المرتفعات الجبلية التي يعد بعضها براكين خامدة. بحيرة عسعالي المالحة جزء لا تنفك من هذا المنظر الجميل بأمواجها الخفيفة المتحركة ولونها الأزرق الذي يضفي على صحراء الملح مزيدا من الروعة والرونق. والمكان الآخر أكثر جذبا وغرابة في منطقة دالول هو البركان المخروطي الرمادي. هو بركان حقيقي في منخفض دناكل، تتسبب الحمم تحت الأرض في تسخين المياه الجوفية وصعودها إلى السطح وتلونها بشوائب معدنية وعضوية، ويؤدي تبخرها إلى أنماط مذهلة الألوان والأشكال بسبب الينابع الحمضية الساخنة والغازات السامة بعد تبخر المياه. هذا المكان إحدى المناطق السياحية في منطقة دالول. هذا المكان والمناظر الطبيعية الجميلة تكونت نتيجة تفاعل مواد وعناصر سامة من بوتاش والكبريت والحديد والأملاح. كما تشاهدون هناك ألوان زاهية وبهيجة مختلفة، حيث الأخضر والأصفر والأبيض. هذه الألوان تكونت بسبب تفاعل هذه المواد. وهذه المنطقة التي تسمى منطقة دالول إحدى المناطق أكثر انخفاضا في الأرض، حيث توجد تحت 125 متر تحت سطح البحر، وكذلك تعتبر أكثر مكانا حرارة، حيث يصل معدل حرارته في السنة بين 60 و35. والوصول إلى هذا المكان يعتبر بحد ذاته تجربة فريدة، حيث يستحق هذا التعب وهذه المغامرة. وهذا الموقع الفريد من نوعه يشبه المواقع التي تعرض في الخيال العلمي أكثر من أي مكان آخر حقيقي، ولا مثيل له في مكان آخر على هذا الكوكب، ويتميز بجمالية كوكب مريخ، مما دفع البعض إلى تسميته بكوكب آخر داخل الكرة الأرضية.
تورست سيرفي نارغالن
لردود أفعال السياح الزائرين لهذه الوجهة المعروفة باسم دالول التي تعني كلمتها الحجر الذهبي، وأغلبهم ينبهرون بما يشاهدونه ويجدونه مختلفا تماما مما اطلعوا عليه عبر وسائل الإعلام والفيديوهات والصور، ويجدونه أروع وأجمل من توقعاتهم. وفقا لما أخبرنا الأجداد والآباء القدامى، منطقة دالول بشكلها الحالي كانت موجودة منذ مئات السنين، وأدعو السياح إلى أن يأتوا إلى هذه الوجهة ويقوموا بزيارتها، وأنا آتي إلى هذا الموقع بشكل متكرر بصفة مرشد سياحي قديما ومسؤولا في مكتب السياحة حاليا. كلما آتي إلى هذا المكان أحس أنني أشاهده للمرة الأولى، ونقوم بترويج لهذه المواقع السياحية ضمن حزمة سياحية في جميع أرجاء إثيوبيا. ومجيئكم إلى هذه المنطقة للقيام بتغطية إعلامية يستحق التقدير، وخاصة باللغة العربية، ونأمل أن يصل إلى مسامع سياح العرب ويأتوا لزيارة هذه الوجهة السياحية الرائعة.
ويعتبر دالول المكان الأكثر انخفاضا على سطح الأرض ب120 متر تحت مستوى سطح البحر، وتسجل هذه المنطقة الرقم القياسي الحالي لأعلى متوسط درجة حرارة في العالم، حيث لا تشهد انخفاضا في الحرارة حتى في الليل، ولا تنعم بنزول الأمطار ولو مرة في السنة إلا نادرا. تتلون الفوهات البركانية بالعديد من الألوان كالأصفر، البرتقالي والأخضر، ويعزى ذلك إلى غليان الحمم البركانية تحت سطح الأرض، والتي تعمل على دفع الملح والكبريت والبوتاسيوم ومعادن أخرى إلى السطح. كما يؤدي تبخر الماء المالح على السطح إلى تكوين تشكلات ملحية في الشقوق تتنوع ألوانها ما بين الأبيض والأصفر والبني والبرتقالي والأخضر. النشاط الحراري المائي الموجود أسفل فوهة دالول هو المسؤول عن هذا المشهد المتنوع الرائع. ومع انتشار المياه الجوفية القادمة من المرتفعات يتم تسخينها بواسطة الصهارة الموجودة أسفل دالول، ويتم دفعها عبر الحفرة، مما يؤدي إلى إذابة الأملاح والمعادن الأخرى. وتتأكسد هذه المعادن لتكون ينابع ساخنة ملونة ومفرطة التشبع، ثم تؤدي الحرارة الشديدة إلى تبخر الماء، تاركة وراءها تكوينات ملحية ملونة ترسم حدود الينابع. إن الحرارة الشديدة لمنخفض دناكيل جنبا إلى جنب مع التركيزات الشديدة للأملاح والبوتاش والمعادن الأخرى في الينابع الساخنة تجعل من دالول مكانا بحثيا رئيسيا للميكروبات المتعددة المحبة للظروف القاسية، والتي قد تحمل أدلة حول كيفية بدء الحياة على الأرض، وكيف الحياة قد تكون موجودة على كواكب